Creativity 2 includes a 1-week exercise where students are encouraged to think of creative ideas which are outside of the box. In Phase 1, students are encouraged to think of different ideas which currently exist already that are creative. This can include things such as the window, light bulbs, pens, and other items. The students utilise the approach of the double diamond in assessing creative ideas and evaluating the ideas as they work through the creative process. This allows for iterative steps of creativity to take place throughout the week. In the final segment of the week, the students are encouraged to think of their own creative ideas which take place 50 years in advance. This allows for proper creative thinking, where the students don't have access to their mobile phones to research things that could happen. We really want to encourage the students to properly think outside of the box for themselves via taking initiative. The week has enabled the students to learn many skills which they will need in industry going forward and in academia. This includes communication skills, teamwork, creative thinking, alongside several skills required for projects going forward in the future.
Over the past week, we have worked through the creative process to create a futuristic product within the scope of sport and entertainment. We have thought about technology that may not be available to us now, but may exist in 50 years' time, to allow us to imagine and develop a product that could impact people on a global scale.
Yeah, so we're Company 4, and we had to look at the global challenge of agriculture technology. So what we decided to do was we noticed that food waste was a growing problem, but we also thought that this could be a resource. So we've got a life cycle for food waste from residential and companies. We take their food waste through a public and private partnership with local councils, and that comes to our distribution centre. The food waste will then get turned into concentrated pellets of fertiliser, and the fertiliser will then go into our robotic worms.
Our idea is basically a human-powered flight machine, but with hydrogen thrusters to help assist takeoff and landing. It's powered with paddles that you push your legs down when you're in the air, which creates a downward force of the wings, which when you then release your legs, due to air resistance, the wings flap back up. So that's how it's going to be powered, so it'll flap in the air. It's got like the kind of mechanism of a rowing machine where it'll have some resistance so that when you push it down it creates enough power.
Company 9, we have the brand new innovation for vision and movement for blind and deaf people. This new product, this futuristic idea, will allow people that are blind and deaf to sense vibrations in the back of their head, which will translate them to any single language that they desire, to allow them to navigate like any normal person.
Our project was extraterrestrial travel, and we focused on making a space highway between planets. This was funded by asteroid mining, and we used a giant rotating disc to provide the launch force for the ships to travel between the planets, and use the atmosphere from each planet to assist in the landing, as well as reverse thrusters.
Creativity is sort of intrinsic part of the human spirit, I think. It's part of the soul. It's sort of the human capacity to look at something, imagine how it could be something else, how it could be better. It's a very unique thing to our civilization, and it empowers the way that we think going forward and the ways that we progress technology and the general state of things.
So we've set up a project to take oil rigs and grow vertical farms on them, exploiting the power resource in the North Sea and the water resource to create a sustainable agriculture environment and to revitalise a declining industry. We came to this design through multiple stages, starting with a concept design stage, and we developed this, went back to the drawing board, and as a team we came up with fresh ideas constantly and played off each other's skill sets really well.
In the Creativity Lab, I learned how to communicate my ideas with a diverse group of people, coming up with like far-fetched ideas and developing them further.